Spotlight. I'm Shiksha Arora. This is Easy Friday. You're tuned in to KBC Channel 1 and we'll be talking to the cast and crew and the director of Mpakani. Funny story, not funny, but short story. I actually auditioned for this and I think I made it to the second round. And then after that, Kiswahili decided it was not my stronghold. So I was defeated and I accepted it with grace. But I was so proud to have made it to the second round because I think it was the first time I was actually auditioning for something so intense. And I've watched a bit of this show and I have to say it is so wonderfully made. It airs on KBC every Monday at 10 p.m., right?
Yes.
Yep. So if you haven't watched it, you're missing out on a lot. Let's get right to it. We'll be introducing to the gentlemen here and let's have a conversation about this very exciting show which is proudly Kenyan, and I'm so proud that you guys are here tonight. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How are you feeling? How's everyone tonight?
We are fine.
Happy New Year, firstly.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
And you know, I remember when I came for the audition, I was so excited because, you know, it's action and this is something that we don't really see in Kenyan movies and series. You know, usually you have light-hearted drama, a lot of comedy here and then, but this was something very different, and which is why I think it's already got a lot of attention. It's piqued attention with Kenyans, and maybe you can start off by telling me, Victor, who is the director of the show, what exactly your thoughts are about how it's been received so far. 5 episodes in?
Yes.
How's the journey been?
5 episodes going on to episode 6.
Okay.
We're very excited about episode 6 because that's there's a new thing coming up.
Oh, interesting.
Very new that we haven't seen in the other episodes. I'm grateful to see how Kenyans have picked it up, especially people I think we've deprived attention, just people outside urban areas.
Yes.
So when you get a call from someone you may have worked with in Marsabit years later, because I keep the numbers and call, Nimona jina yako? Feel like, oh yeah, how you doing? How's family? So it's nice. I was just showing them a text from Zanzibar.
Wow, Zanzibar.
So the reception is nice, but our goal was to do a show that would be consumed anywhere on our soil and in the world. And that means bringing in the aspects of feel on the quality, bringing in good performance, but very grounded performance. So our main goal, we've achieved it when you find someone from very, very far saying, we are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are watching.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
We're excited, we are panicky, we have all emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's how it is with anything new. When you start something new, you have a little bit of excitement, nervousness at the same time. You don't know how people are going to take it. But I feel like so far, so good. So there's a long journey ahead. And I know that it's going to get even better and even bigger as time goes by. So I want you two to introduce yourselves because I feel like, especially, you know, you've been on our screens for years. I've worked with you as well on a play. Did you know that? It was called Simba. And you were the main character. And I was one of the dancers and choreographers. And I remember that's where, right? So theater as well. You've done theater, he's done movies. You know, you need to tell the world about all your accolades.
Thanks. But yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years now.
Okay.
And did a bit of theater. My name is Claude Zatara.
Yes.
I play Farah in Mpakani, Senior Sergeant Farah. And like you said, it's been a while. I mean, it's been a long journey and it's ups and downs and stuff, but we're here. And I'm so proud and happy to be, you know, in Mpakani, proudly Kenyan. It's something that will, and has already, from the comments and everything, that people are really proud of it. And it's a great compliment. That's a lot of Kenyans are actually thinking like, hey, was this shot here? Is it Kenya? Was it shot abroad? Or, you know, because it's such good quality, great story, you know, performances are rich and 3-dimensional characters and all that. So it was an awesome opportunity. And you know, some of these things, it's like destiny.
Right. Because
you get to a point in your acting career, you're like even thinking, am I on the right track? Because nothing maybe big, you know, you always hope for something big and something that will hopefully
big break.
get exposure and maybe open up other bigger doors. And when this came, I was at a point in my life, I was like, you know, you even start thinking, should I quit? You know, maybe it's time to do something else? And I just kept on, and this came up, you know, and it was like one of the biggest signs for me that keep on going, keep
pushing.
Yeah, and it was an amazing experience, you know, working with these amazing people, you know, Gatonye. We actually, the first time I worked with Gatonye was over 10 years ago on Changes. Yes. I was struggling to say one line.
Really?
You can understand one line. Yani watu utoka mbali hivyo. So you just have to keep on pushing. If you're passionate about something, keep on pushing. You just keep on pushing, and that's it.
That's amazing. Phil, you know, you're in charge of VFX, right?
Yes.
And you have kind of molded this movie to become what it is, and the quality is quite evident because everyone's asking, is this made in Kenya? You know, it doesn't look like a Kenyan film. So maybe you can tell us what your role was in actually getting it to that level.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm humbled, by the way. I can't say like I've not been in this industry for long. I think my first was Mission to Rescue.
Okay.
That is where like I did my winning,
right?
Sharpening my teeth and everything. But now when it came to Mpakani,
yes,
I was thrown into the deep end.
Ooh.
I was like, okay, now we see you can at least like swim.
Yeah.
Now we're just throwing you into the deep end. But I'm glad because the challenge was nice. We took everything in stride.
Right.
We actually just 2 people, by the way, with this entire production who did the visual effects.
It's a lean team.
So yeah, it's a very lean team, and for 10 episodes, it's some scenes were nightmare.
Okay.
But we like the challenge.
Yeah.
And now, since now we're talking about the quality of the movie and the visual effects, there's this notion that lower class people are not supposed to consume high forms of art.
Right.
And that comes even in the way the things are packaged. You find the Kadogo industry, things are just packaged in a certain way. And for the high end and high class market, you find there's a lot of consideration put into the branding of stuff. So when Gatonye like just brought the footage, I was like, I don't need to waste this. I can't, like, I won't even forgive myself just to do things haphazardly and then be like, sinaenda kuona mashinani.
Yeah.
I had to elevate whatever Gatonye had shot, the DOPs, the editors, because even the editors gave us amazing cuts. You just look at it and be like, I need to elevate this to another level.
Right.
So when people say this is not shot in Kenya, I'm like, yes, we've done our job.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that everyone across the board enjoys a high quality production.
Yeah. Victor, you know, you're not new to this game. You've been doing this for eons, and you are a household director when it comes to movies, when it comes to all things action, when it comes to drama, in terms of, you know, action-packed drama, series and movies as well. Mission to Rescue was, I think, one of your first, where you ventured into this particular niche, and then after that you've got this. You know, how has that particular journey been? How did your interest get how did you start getting an interest in drama films in terms of action?
Okay, firstly, Mission to Rescue was directed by my colleague Gilbert Lucaria.
Okay.
And I really love that group, and we learned so much. As Mpakani, we owe Mission to Rescue a lot in terms of education.
It was an inspiration.
Big time inspirations. I think I would have been very blind if Mission to Rescue had never been done.
Really?
Yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from that.
Okay.
What's important to watch a lot. So maximum respect for Mission to Rescue. My journey started in developmental drama in Makutano Junction, which aired here in KBC.
Oh wow!
My acting career started in KBC.
So it's been a full 360.
Reflections. It's actually a hip guy. So it's an interesting moment even now.
From actor to director.
Yes, it's a long journey in between there with joys and cries. But it's just pushing the curve, keeping on going. Makutano is quite experimental. So the moment we finished training in Makutano and we started to venture outside, we see what our colleagues are doing, we see where the world is going. Internet became something bigger. We now had Facebook, we had Google doing a lot. Now we could now watch movies. So it's somehow, I think, it's the people around you that just inspire you. Why don't you try this? They throw the cookies at you, and it goes to your subliminal. Then it starts happening without you knowing. You start realizing what you're writing is a bit different. So we kicked off with shows like The Team. The Team had a lot of action. We went crazy, like really crazy, like from year 1 to 4 with 40 sticks.
Wow.
By Sense Play. And everyone went, what on earth is this?
That's actually an award-winning movie.
It is. It is. So it's step by step. It's also the circles you sit with, people who edify you, people who give you a challenge, also people who don't idolize you.
Interesting.
Yes. So that's the journey. It's the journey, really, and family. Family, like children will watch and go, next time we should do it bigger, because they don't know the weight of the words, and you go. Yeah, but you have a point. Like,
you have a point.
So my kids are my biggest critics and fans. I'm sure right now they're watching Wema Tatu and Zuri. They know the show inside out. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a nice journey. Yeah.
When they watch your shows or movies, do they say they want to be an actor or a director? Like, do they say, I want to do this, Dad?
My son, I think he wants to be technical. I see him going very much into focus pulling.
Okay.
My daughter has no qualms. She has no interest.
She has no interest.
But she's an artist. She's a visual artist. So I think Phil, you guys will
connect well.
Always a joke. When I met Phil the first 1 week, I never understood whatever he said.
Why is that?
Talking. His terminology is so I had to keep reading. Anything he says, I had a notebook on the phone.
Google.
How much does he have in his head?
Just a small head.
But him and Paul, best team. Our editors, 2 guys, we got Job and Ernest, who have never edited a series.
What?
It's their first series to edit.
And they've delivered. That's brilliant.
Mercy Sound, she's doing a brilliant job. I think our sweetest thing is Sedo.
Yeah.
Sedo, the music producer, is behind all our music, our tracks.
Okay.
And he's a big inspiration. When he watched it and said, I like it, there was a moment of
relief.
So that's the journey. It's the people. It's always the people around you.
Claude, what about you? You know, you mentioned that there was a time that you weren't really sure if this is what you were supposed to continue doing, and things weren't going that great for you. But now that you've got this Mpakani going on, and you know you've seen that people have actually received it pretty well, what were your thoughts when that happened? Did you think that, yeah, maybe this is my calling, this is something that I think I need to continue doing for eons?
Yeah, that basically you get those signs. I think they're like signs in life. When sometimes you're just about to quit, and then something comes and you're like, wait, maybe I should reconsider and all that. And this was one of the biggest signs for me, because I mean, getting one of the a lead part in a series like this was a very, very big sign.
Right.
And it made me, you know, reconsider a lot of things, and it's a big encouragement, you know. So since I started, like, whenever get discouraged, something comes to a project, or maybe even a word of encouragement from a colleague, or I see something, it could be, you know, inspiration from even abroad or actors.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, anywhere, you know. Because I think the main thing is, you're not the first person to go through that.
Yes.
You know, so I watch interviews, Morgan Freeman and all these guys, they went through periods of discouragement and thinking like, maybe I should give up, and then something came up. So you can encourage yourself through that. So, but this has been big in terms of encouragement, and I'm very, you know, like, happy to see what the future holds in terms of, as more people get to watch it, because it's like more and more people are talking about it, and I know more people will watch it in the coming episodes, and it would be much, much bigger.
Right.
Yeah. It would.
Okay.
It would
You know, nobody tells you about what happens behind the scenes as an actor, the life of an actor, right? It all looks like a glamorous dream, fairy tales. And then now you said you shot in Samburu for 45 days approximately, and nobody really prepares you for that. Cloud, I need you to take us through what happened in Samburu. I know it was not glamorous, number one.
It wasn't.
Especially, you know, with the nature of this film. It requires you to really just go deep and just dive into your character. And if you're a military man, you need to also be fit. You also need to make sure that you're physically looking like that character. So how was the preparation for this particular role?
Well, there was the aspect of being prepared physically.
Yes.
So we had like a fitness coach who would, Mickey and Edwin, amazing guys. They, you know, once we were there at the camp, they took us through, you know, like every morning, just to make sure that we are physically fit and stuff. And then we were also trained on, you know, handling firearms. And then
was there a boot camp?
Yeah, kind of like a mini. It wasn't very like intense.
Trainers,
but
yeah.
The basic gun handling and firearms. Handling firearms, and then there's obviously every day you have to be prepared for your scenes. So there's the aspect of knowing what you're going to shoot. Obviously, there's call sheets are given and everything, so you know in advance what you are going to shoot for that day. And basically, because this is something that most of the actors, we hadn't experienced anything like this. So there's a lot of depending on, you know, we get support from director, from assistant director, great guy called Edwin Kamau. And it's a whole team. You know, the interesting thing is that a lot of people look at the actors because they see the actors.
Yeah.
So even when we come for interviews, it's mainly, a lot of times it's the actors who go for interviews and stuff.
Yeah, because you're the face of the movie or the show.
But all these people make us shine.
100%.
So as an actor, I have to also push the glory to them. You know, I have to like say, if it wasn't for those people, the hair, makeup, the assistant director, the director, the sound guys, the camera guys, all those guys, they come together, the catering, there's the wardrobe, all those guys, transport, they come together and make us shine. And I think that's one of the great travesties of filmmaking, is that so much glory goes to the actors.
Right.
It shouldn't, because they are, and that's why there's also a lot of diva stuff, you know, some actors, you know, divas, and, because we're just one part of the whole filmmaking process. And like you said, it's not glamorous. It is
hard work.
It's hard work, and it's like someone said, making movies or making the filmmaking process is not, when you go on set, it might not necessarily be very entertaining as you are, because it's in parts, small parts, you know, and then these guys, the editing guys, put it all together
to flow
and, you know, to make it work, to make it interesting, to make it entertaining. And that's also another very important part, the editing, the visual effects, all these guys. It's made pretty much, the film is, or the series is made on the editing floor.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
if that stuff isn't put together in a way that's entertaining, in a way that makes sense, then it's nothing. It wouldn't be. And you know, the interesting thing is that we don't even have the control after we've done our scenes.
That's it.
It's after, you know, so sometimes you look at a scene and you're like, no, I thought there was another take that I did better than that. I cried, all that crying. They didn't even put the crying. You know, that's the thing. So it's interesting in that sense. But, and then also another thing, the director, you know, the making film it's a director's media.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. So it's his vision, it's his, so you have to trust. That's why you see a lot of Hollywood top stars like DiCaprio and Denzel, they have certain directors that they usually work. Denzel, Antoine Fuqua, DiCaprio, Scorsese, you know, because you have to trust, because I can't see myself when I'm acting.
Yeah.
It's the guy, it's the director behind the monitor. So I have to trust that when there were some scenes I would ask him, I didn't feel it, and he's like, it's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
I had to trust him.
Yeah.
Because, and I trusted him because from those days of changes, I knew the kind of person he is. I knew he's passionate about his art, and I knew that he wouldn't, if it's not good enough, we'll go for another. Because this series had to be shot. We were pressed for time. You know, we didn't have like crazy amounts of time. So I had to really trust that whenever he gave me feedback, we can move on, we move on.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. You know, Phil, as he said, it all depends on the editors, it all depends on the people who are doing the post-production, the visual effects, you know, guys like you. He said, Victor has mentioned that you and who's the other guy? Paul have been phenomenal and have been so integral in making the show what it is today. What were some of the challenges that you encountered along the way in trying to put the final piece together in terms of the visual effects?
Basically, I think every episode gave us a new challenge.
Okay.
From episode 1 all the way to the last episode. But the thing that made it more rewarding is that Gatonya gave us the freedom to do some of the stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Most of the time, directors don't want to hear whatever you're saying.
They sit with you, right?
Yes, they'll be like, make the logo bigger, move it to the left, move it to the right. But Gatonya usually gave us...
So you had creative freedom.
Yes, a lot of it, by the way. And sometimes we would like suggest some things, and Gatonya will be like, yeah, that's nice, put it there. The biggest challenge was number one, time.
Okay.
It was 10 episodes.
Yes.
And we had a certain window to do everything.
Yeah.
So we were like, we have to find a way to do all these 10 episodes, the two of us, and deliver it on time to the quality that will be pleasing, not only just to the director, but to everyone who's going to see the series.
Yeah.
So we devised up a way, a formula on how we are going to tackle every episode. So basically, each person did their own episode.
Amazing.
So I did some episodes, Paul did some episodes.
Yeah.
And then there's that amazing opening montage.
Yeah.
I think that is the point where Paul showed his true colors.
Very nice.
Because Paul has been a 3D guy since way back. And when Foxton came by and be like, okay, we need somebody to assist you in doing the visual effects, I said, I know Paul, he can do it. And I told Paul, you've tried to be doing 3D, but now this is now the moment. Now you need to shine.
You need to shine.
You need to tell people now who you are.
Amazing.
People need to see you. And Paul delivered.
Very nice.
And it is one of those things whereby I think we released it on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I watched.
Yes, that opening montage.
The opening montage is what got a lot of eyes, and I feel like that's something that has attracted and drawn people to actually watch the series. And as we sign out, one last message for your fans, people who are watching, people who are curious about it but haven't got the time to do so. To watch Mpakani, they need to do it now, so you need to convince them to watch it right now. I gave you 30 seconds. Let's go. Starting with you, Bwana Director.
I would say it's a pleasure to do something that's world-class at home.
Okay.
I always grew up joking, saying, when people say, you go to Hollywood, I say, no, we'll make Hollywood here, then it will come for us.
Yeah.
I think we've really dangerously crossed that line. All Kenyan team, lovely team. Most of us new at this.
Yeah.
But we trusted each other. So it's a trust game.
Yeah.
So trust us, watch our series, watch the second season. By the third season, we'll be what you want. Don't worry.
Amazing. Remember, every Monday on KBC, it's here, it's home at 10 p.m. You need to watch Mpakani, and you need to support Kenyan talent and Kenyan creatives who've really gone all out to ensure that this is quality content, a show that is made in Kenya for Kenyans, and it's just a very nice way to show you that, you know, we have what it takes to be international. You don't need to go out there to get good content. You don't need to look for content on Netflix. We have it here on KBC. What are you waiting for? Watch it, okay? So that's it from us right here. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Phil, Cloud, thank you so much, Victor. I've really enjoyed this interview, and hopefully the next show, Victor will make sure that there's a role for me somewhere. You know, I won't just fail on the second round of interviews, audition. Maybe I'll actually get a role.
Okay.
So I'm hoping for that. We'll talk about that after we're done with this. Thank you for watching. Pardon?
They facilitate Swahili classes.
Yes, Swahili classes, and maybe they might just a role for a Kihindi, you know, speaking person, right? A Kihindi speaking police officer. Bollywood comes to Kenya. What else do you need? That's it from us. We'll catch up with you next week, same time, same place. But don't you go too far, because Cole Jacks with entertainment, with music that will keep you going. Friday Fever is officially on. Cole Jacks, take it away.